Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe has for us at this time, especially in regards to recognizing our worth, to stepping into our power, to knowing that we're inherently worthy to, start shining bright instead of playing small. It's time to go after what we want, and even if we're amidst, this messy middle period, we're in transition, we're becoming still, there's storms, there's chaos, there's turbulence, that brighter days are coming, and that we can claim that and not get lost and, get disheartened. So let's take a look at the cards and see what other messages the universe wants to share with us. So the first card we have is Cocoon of White Light. Rest in perfect love, understand oneness. Yeah, that's the thing right now. So many of us, we're inside this metaphorical chrysalis or cocoon. We are no longer the caterpillar, but we're not quite the butterfly either. And so the universe is wanting us to rest, to know that it's all going to work out in our favor, that the universe has our back, that we're all one, we're all connected. When we take the time to rest and to take care of ourselves and to fill up our cup and meet our needs, we're actually helping everybody around us. It's not us being selfish and, disregarding everybody else. It's like, no, 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 no. When you're coming from a more healed and aligned and whole place where you have the energy and you're showing up as your best self, you are going to be doing everyone around you a service because energy is contagious. And so take time to rest. Take time to let in all that divine unconditional love. Know that you are going to be okay, that you will become the butterfly, even if it's taking longer than you thought it would, even if the transition process is messy, because again, I feel like I've mentioned this in other videos, but I'm pretty sure that in order for the caterpillar to become a butterfly, it basically becomes this genetic soup so that it can become it. And so that's a really messy process. And another thing is, with so many of us, in this transition phase, and it's messy and we're in the middle and we're not seeing the results yet, we can be tempted to go back to the old ways. But the thing is, once you start this metamorphosis, this transformation, you can never go back. You can never go back to being the caterpillar. You can never go back to the way you used to be. You can try it, but things won't be aligned and in resonance with you anymore. Like, it will just be this mismatch because you're no longer that person. The saying is like, when you know better, you do better. You can't unlearn what you've learned. You can't undo the growth that you've had. Even though the growing pains can be painful, it's like you are becoming. And yeah, when you're in the middle, it can be very, very uncomfortable because you're neither. You're neither the caterpillar or the butterfly. You're neither the old version of you or this new version of you that you're becoming. And so that can be really, really hard. I understand, I'm there with you. But the universe wants you to rest and know that everything's going to be okay. That yes, this process may be messy and things may not be working out the way you thought they would, but the universe has your back and you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to soar high as a butterfly. But you have to trust the process and allow it to naturally unfold. You can't rush this because the messaging coming in is, how a lot of people can get impatient. They want to cut corners and rush things, but I'm pretty sure if people try to, free the butterfly from the cocoon or the chrysalis before it's ready, you're actually harming the butterfly. Like, the way I understand it, and mind you, I'm not an expert on butterflies, so I could be mistaken. There may be more to the situation, but as I understand it, it's because the butterfly has to struggle out of the chrysalis, the cocoon, that is able to build up its strength and then be able to fly. So if you go and try to rush the process and get the butterfly out before it can get out on its own, it's not going to be able to fly, and you've actually doomed the butterfly. And so that's the messaging coming in with the universe. Is like, hey, I know it's messy, I know it's hard, I know there's struggle, and you're in this, middle season, this transition season, and it's not the way that you want it to be, but if you try to rush this, you're setting yourself up for failure. And the universe doesn't want that for you. The universe wants to prepare you. So this is why you have to undergo all the things that are coming up right now. Because if you try to cut corners and skip ahead and, rush the process, you're not going to have that solid foundation that you need. You're not going to have that strength that you need. You're not going to have all the resources, connections, and skill sets and all of it that you need in order to thrive in this new upcoming season of the butterfly. So rest, allow things to unfold. Yes, that can be hard in today's modern society where it's always go, 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 push ahead, push ahead, push ahead, be productive, crank things out, grind, hustle, go, 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 go. Slow down, breathe, rest, because while the outside world may think that you're being lazy and all that, it's not true, because it takes so much energy to transform, to become this new version of yourself. You're investing all this energy inward, so it's okay to rest. It's okay to fill up your cup. And other messaging coming in is very much, like this pregnancy thing. Like, it takes a lot of energy to grow a little human inside of you. And so you have to slow down. You have to rest more. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do things differently than if you weren't pregnant. And so you're basically pregnant with the new version of yourself. So you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to fill up your cup. You're going to have to rest more, to breathe, to relax. Some days are going to be a lot harder. Some days they're going to be the growing pains of, the baby in the womb. And other days, everything's going to go smoother sailing. It's okay. Rest. You are going to become the butterfly. You really, really are. But you gotta let it naturally unfold. Pure intention, find clarity, surrender your ego. Yeah, the universe wants you to get crystal clear on what it is that you actually want. What it is actually your priority, your non-negotiables, your standards, what you want your life to look like. Because you have to get crystal clear on that. If you are like, well, I really do want to, do this, that, and the other, whether it be like having this new home, having this beautiful family, having this dream job, whatever it is. But if you aren't willing to surrender and release and let go of things that do not align with that life, like let's say you want to become like this, like have this super prosperous job and have all this finances coming in. Well, if you are still clinging on to like some old conditioning and programming and mindsets, like, how it's hard to make money, I'm never going to have enough, like money is the root of all evil, all that. Well, how are you going to bring that in? You're in a mismatch. You're not in alignment and resonance with what it is that you actually want. So you want to be having pure intentions. You want to be in alignment. You want to let go of what is interfering and holding you back from what it is you want. Because if you're going around having those negative narratives and limiting beliefs, you are effectively putting up blockades and blocking the universe's blessings from coming in. Because even if it's working out all these opportunities and all these blessings and working magic and miracles and just like going super hard and be like, yes, I'm going to make this work for you. You want this, you want this. But you're like, nope, denied. It's hard. Blinders. I can't see it. I can't see it. It's, the whole saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So it's time to surrender. And the human ego, it's not the enemy, but it doesn't know everything. And while it tries to, save you, protect you, and all that, it can very much be a hindrance and get in your own way and lead to self-sabotage. Because, if you've had all these past experiences, like let's say you really want to have these deep, meaningful connections with friendships, co-workers, a life partner, and create a family. Well, if you're going to go and you keep playing those loops of what happened in the past, because, the human ego is trying to protect you and be like, well, all these people, they hurt me, so I need to wall off my heart and protect myself, and I need to not trust anyone. I need to stop. I can't go meet new people because they're just going to turn out the same, and they're going to be like the rest. Well, you're not going to be in alignment with what you want. You're not going to be opening. You're not going to be open. You're not going to allow in. You're not going to be able to trust these people because of the past. So this is why the universe is saying, hey, surrender your ego. It's time to rest. It's time to reflect. It's time to get clear. It's time to process all of these past emotions, all of these past traumas, all these past experiences, and to work through it, to release it, to process it, so that you can get clear on what you want and have that pure intention and get in alignment, Because so often we'll say we want one thing, and we might very well mean it, but our actions and our thoughts and our narratives could be in a mismatch alignment where it's not actually in resonance with what we're trying to get. The freedom of truth. Communicate honestly, be who you truly are. And that's the thing. The universe doesn't want you to sidestep. The universe doesn't want you to sweep things under the rug. It doesn't want you to pretend. It doesn't want you to bottle things up, slap a smile on your face, be like, everything's great. It's like, if there are problems, speak up honestly. Get vulnerable. Be real. That doesn't mean you're going to focus on all the negative all the time, but you have to voice it. You have to speak up and let it be seen, let it be heard, allow it to be felt so it can be processed, because so many of us keep going through these unconscious cycles and patterns and habits, and it keeps looping around again and again and again because we're not creating space for it. We're not allowing us to feel quote unquote bad emotions, which there are no bad emotions. There can be, uncomfortable emotions to feel, but there are no bad emotions because our emotions provide clarity about how we're feeling about things, and if we need to change things, if we need to make adjustments, if we need to shift, if we need to do things differently, they help us get closer to the truth. Because if you are miserable and frustrated and just depressed at your job, that is your emotions telling you the truth of how you need to do things differently. You need to either try to voice your frustrations and the issues with your boss to get things resolved. You may need to switch your hours. You may need to cut back. You may need to get a new job. Your emotions are there to help guide you to the truth. But so often we shove our emotions down, we bottle them up, we sweep them on the rug, we sidestep and be like, nope, not there. Nope, everything's great. And, the whole thing, fake it till you make it. It's like, the universe wants you to be honest and real and genuine. It wants you to get vulnerable with yourself. It wants you to go into those messy emotions, to feel them, to create space, to see them, to listen to your wounded inner child so that you can heal, so that you can purge, so that you can process them and finally release them so they're not stuck in your body. It wants you to be honest. The truth will set you free. But you have to be willing for that. You have to open up to that because the universe can't force it on you. It'll keep providing you opportunities to finally be honest and open and real. It'll keep trying to teach you the lessons that you haven't, learned yet. It'll do so with love. But if you're like my family, you just, double, triple, quadruple down and start lashing out and complaining, and nothing ever works out right. Everything always goes wrong. And I feel for them, and I try to, give pointers, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so the universe is asking you to be honest. The truth will set you free. What is it that you truly want? What is it that you need? What isn't working for you? What is working for you? What is in alignment with you? Be honest. It's going to set you free. Yeah. Spiritual warrior. Show that you are a wise leader. Command the universe. And I want to point out that Lionsgate 88 is coming up soon, and there is the lion here, and that's the thing. The universe wants you to step into your power. It wants you to reclaim it. It wants you to be able to roar like the lion. You have so much more power than you realize. So often we end up giving it away. We end up settling for less, playing small, dimming our light, and the universe is saying, no, 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 no. You have so much untapped potential. You have so much power. It's time to step into it. It's time to speak up. It's time to be who you really are. It's time to embrace that energy of the lion, like with Lionsgate. It's time to be who you really are and command the universe. The universe wants to co-create with you. It wants to work magic and miracles on your behalf. It wants to send you all these blessings to give you everything you need to thrive. But you have to be in alignment with it. You have to be speaking life over yourself. You have to have the right focus, the right mindset, the right energy going into, everything that you do. You have to be planting the right seeds because you reap what you sow. And the universe wants you to know that you can do it. You are becoming the spiritual warrior. The thing is, you've always been it. It's just whether or not you have acknowledged it and recognized it. Because sometimes we just end up giving it away, because of conditioning. Because, as children, we end up believing the adults around us because we think that they have our backs. And that's not to say they're necessarily trying to do us harm. Some of them might have, because there's some very hurt people out there, but some of the adults in our lives, they may have led us astray, but it was, out of like pure intention, in the sense that they thought they were looking out for us. They thought, oh, this is what I've learned, and like, you don't want to go down that road because it could be dangerous. It'll lead to bad outcomes, and it may not have been true. They could have very much, bought into the fear, the false evidence appearing real, lack, all of that. They weren't necessarily in their power. But times are changing, and the universe is asking for us to wake up, to step into our power, to reclaim it, to be who we truly are, because we're in this metamorphosis, and we're going to become the butterfly. We're going to become these spiritual warriors that the old won't work anymore, because we are no longer that. We are becoming. You have so much power. Embrace your inner lion. It's time to roar. Okay, so we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon, and this is the universe letting you know that this is a transitory season. It will not be forever. This is not going to be your life forever. It's not set in stone. So yes, it can be messy and uncomfortable, and some days it can just be downright unbearable, and you cry your eyes out, and you just feel so much intense emotions, like these waves are just crashing into you and dragging you down into the depths, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to make it out of this, and things could be falling apart, and relationships could be crumbling, and maybe you've lost your job, and all these things, and the universe saying, hey, it's not set in stone. Things are still working out. You are still becoming the butterfly. So yes, all this may be crumbling. Yes, all of it may be falling apart. But these breakdowns are becoming breakthroughs. All these things falling apart are actually falling into place, because the things that are leaving your life, that are no longer there, had to fall away to make space for all the new, for all the things that will be blessings, that will set you up for success and to be able to thrive, to be able to soar high as the butterfly. So yeah, it could be a brutal storm right now, but the storm will pass. Brighter days are coming. So keep the faith, trust, stay the course, keep moving forward, no matter how small your steps. Even if the steps you take today are just to breathe, to process, and to take care of yourself, to fill up your cup, because this will not be your forever. This is your growing season, and you may not see the results right away, because once you plant a seed, it takes time to grow. It takes you nurturing it and watering it and pulling up the weeds. And so yes, it hasn't become the full-grown plant yet. It hasn't become the mighty oak. It hasn't become, the fruit-bearing trees. Whatever it is, you will reap the fruits of your labor. But it's not set in stone yet. Like, how big your blessings, how bright your days, it's not set in stone yet. So the more you do the inner work, the more you get in alignment, the better your results will be. Because your energy will be more in alignment. The energy you put out and you bring to the situation will dictate what comes back to you. You reap what you sow. So know that even if you're not seeing the results yet, even if it's a really uncomfortable, messy period right now where you're waiting and you're in hiding and you're just feeling like everything's going wrong, it's okay. It's actually, the universe is actually working things out behind the scenes for you. It's working magic and miracles on your behalf, even if you can't see it. So know that it's going to be okay. Know that it won't always look like this. Yeah. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. Don't give up. Keep the dreams alive. Keep your hope alive. Keep expecting the best, and know that the universe will bless you, that it will work magic and miracles on your behalf, that it will set you up for success. It will build the foundation so that this next chapter, when you're the butterfly, you will flourish. You will soar higher than you ever thought imaginable. But you have to hold the vision. You have to stay the course. You have to surrender and let things naturally unfold. You have to trust. It's hard sometimes to trust when everything seems to be going awry and haywire and the storm is raging and there's all this turbulence and drama and chaos and conflict. But know that brighter days are coming. It's not always going to be this chaotic, messy middle season. It's not. Yeah. The universe wants you to know a win-win outcome is in the forecast, full moon in Libra. Brighter days are coming. You will be blessed. It's because of all the hard work you've been putting in, all the healing, all the processing, all the making space for your emotions, all the getting in alignment with who you truly are, speaking the truth, staying in resonance, It's all coming together. You're going to win big in this next season. You're going to thrive as a butterfly. Also, if you look at the card, it's a balanced scale. So know that everything you've been doing, the universe will return to you. So if you've been putting in all this work and, coming from a place of kindness and integrity and respect and peace and love and joy, it'll come back to you. So, if people weren't treating you right and they took advantage of you and they didn't reciprocate what you were doing, you will be recompensated? Like, it's all going to be returned to you in the end. A win-win outcome is in the forecast. You are going to benefit. You are going to thrive. You are going to be blessed. So don't worry. Okay. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So the universe wants you to know that your messy middle phase, this metamorphosis, you being snuggled up in your cocoon or chrysalis, like your becoming phase is reaching an end. Conclusions are within reach. You are reaching these brighter days sooner than you think. They could literally be just around the corner. So know that it's working out for you. Know that you don't need to rush. Let things naturally unfold. That can be easier said than done because I'm human and I'm there with you. It has been brutal. It has been brutal this last season, this last couple years, but especially this last year for me. It's been super intense, and all these things are falling apart and falling away and blowing up, and it's been rejections, and it's been super messy. But I've been doing the best I can to keep choosing kindness, to keep choosing love, to keep choosing peace and joy, and showing up for myself and making space for myself, and to feel whatever it is coming up. Even though it's been really messy and painful and uncomfortable, and some days it feels like I can't breathe because of the intensity of the emotions, but it won't always be that way. And the only way to get to the other side is to go through it. We can't avoid it. We can try to postpone things, but that's just putting pause on something, but it's not really paused. It's going to keep building pressure. And if you keep, it's sort of like with chores, for instance, if you're like, I don't really feel like doing the dishes, it's not that big a deal if you wait a little bit. But if you're waiting days and weeks and months, it's going to be a whole lot more work to do. And so like they'll pile up, food will get caked on, and instead of like if you had done it little by little as it came up, be a lot faster and you wouldn't have to worry. But it's like if you keep pushing it off and, you know, postponing it, you're going to have a lot to work with. And unfortunately, with our society, that's what a lot of us have ended up doing. We've been basically programmed and conditioned to do it. And so it's going to be interesting watching as everything unfolds in society at large, because I look at my family and they're going to be in for some rough times. Like, I try to point things out to them in love and be gentle and all that, but they don't want to hear it. And so it's like, okay, but conclusions are within reach. So know that this win-win outcome is coming for you. You are going to be blessed. You will be able to live your dream life. You will emerge as the butterfly. But you gotta let the process unfold naturally. You can't rush it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. We gotta go through it, guys. It's easier said than done sometimes. We gotta go through it. Okay, so we have appetite. Get out of your comfort zone. Yeah. So many of us like to, push those uncomfortable emotions away and be like, no. Good vibes only. I want to feel happy and I want to be in love and I want to get excited and all these things. Are like, there's like positive emotions are great, but negative emotions need to have space too, because if we keep pushing them off, it's like the dishes. They're going to grow stronger and stronger and stronger. If you're in resistance with something, if you're fighting against something, it's only having it grow stronger. And so stop pushing back against all these emotions and make space for them, because emotions are energy in motion, and when we resist them, when we push against them, when we try to bottle them up and sweep them on the rug, sidestepping them, it's just having them get stuck in our bodies, and they're not being able to flow freely and then get released. In order to process them, they need to flow. You need to feel them. You need to make space for them. You need to sit with them. Allow yourself to be seen and heard, but it's not comfortable. And also, we have to start making choices that we never would have before, because we are no longer the old selves, and our old selves might have been terrified to speak up. Our old selves may have been terrified to strike out and take a chance to try something new, but we're no longer the caterpillar version of ourselves. So we have to step out of our comfort zone and start making different choices. And the expression insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. We can't live the caterpillar life anymore, guys. We're becoming the butterfly. So we have to get out of our comfort zone, because we can never go back to being the caterpillar. And why should we? Like, we should embrace being a butterfly. We can fly. Once we're the butterfly, we can fly. We don't have to be walking and crawling like a caterpillar. We can soar through the sky. We don't have to stay confined to the ground. And that may be uncomfortable at first because we've never done it, but we were destined and made to fly as the butterfly, So good things are coming. Good things are coming. But yeah, as we get out of our comfort zone, we need to be kind to ourselves. Pink opal. We need to be gentle with ourselves. We need to show ourselves compassion and love, and just make space for ourselves and be gentle and empathetic, because it's hard and uncomfortable and a messy process to become the butterfly, to heal all our past hurts, to release all this emotional baggage, to break free of all the limiting beliefs and negative narratives. And it's not going to be a straightforward process. Like, we will take steps forward, but we may end up stumbling backwards, and we may end up falling, and we may get banged up. Be kind to yourself. Know that process, like, it can be twists and turns. It's not necessarily a straight line. So just because you may be struggling and it may not be working out the best right now, Doesn't mean you're failing. Show yourself more love and compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind. Because you're doing the best you can, and you are becoming the butterfly. Even if it's a very messy process. Like, think about little babies learning how to walk. They fall down so much. They lose their balance so much. But they keep getting back up and trying again. And look at yourself. You can walk now. So that means that it wasn't for naught. Like, the whole messy process of learning how to walk, you mastered it. So you can master new things too. Lipidolite. Recall your dreams. Yeah. The universe doesn't want you to give up on your dreams, on what lights you up inside, on what will help you thrive, on what's in alignment with you, because you're meant for it. You're meant to become the butterfly. So recall your dreams and make space for them and believe that they can be achieved. Expect good things from the universe. Embody and embrace your dreams. You can manifest it into reality. You can command the universe. You are a spiritual warrior. You've got this. And when we do all this, pyrite, let the money flow in. We'll have all this flow in because we're becoming who we're truly meant to be. We're not, limiting ourselves with negative narratives or limiting beliefs. We're not getting in our own way with self-sabotage as we're, running away from our emotions, running away from our past, running away from who we truly are, where the truth is setting us free. We're making space for ourselves. We're being kind to ourselves. We're allowing ourselves to rest. We're believing and trusting and having faith. Like, it's going to let it flow in. It is. But we have to also trust the process and allow it to unfold naturally. We can't rush it, because that's just going to end up shooting us in the foot, or, clipping our metaphorical wings and sapping our strength if we do that, We have dog devotion. Be devoted to yourself. Be committed to yourself. Show up for yourself every day. Be loyal to who it is you are and what it is you want and your dreams, because you can have it, but you have to get in alignment with it. You have to believe that you can achieve it and expect good things, to trust. And if you start selling yourself out to be someone you're not being devoted to yourself. You're not being committed to yourself. You're not showing up for yourself. If you are bottling up all your emotions, slapping on a happy face and pretending like everything is good, you're not being devoted to yourself. You're not showing up for yourself. You're trying to appease other people and, jumping through all these hoops to make sure they're happy, and you're not trying to, quote unquote, disturb them and burden them. Well, it's like, you're not serving anybody that way. Because, if you start showing up honestly as who you really are, you start, showing up authentically, you are giving permission for other people to do the same. You're showing them that they don't have to pretend to be someone they're not. They don't have to hide away and be insincere and inauthentic. They can be devoted and committed to themselves too. They can show up for themselves every day. They can make space for themselves and how they're feeling. It's a messy process, but we can do it. And yeah, otter playfulness. Bring more joy and play into your life. Yes, it can be very dark and turbulent and messy and chaotic and stormy right now, but that doesn't mean you can't still enjoy the ride. And that's not to say that everything has to be to your preference or that you have to enjoy it all, but how can you bring more playfulness, more fun, more joy, more excitement, more peace into your life as it is? If you hate doing the chores, how can you make that more exciting? How can you make it into like a game? Like maybe make it into a dance party or karaoke, or, make it some kind of game, and like you can like see if you can, do a certain way, and then like you can reward yourself, like whatever it is. Bring more play and joy and fun and love for life back into your life. It doesn't have to be so miserable. The universe wants you to thrive, but you can't do that if you're miserable all the time, which is why it's so important to make room for more joy, more play, more fun. And yeah, turtle, pace over race. You don't need to rush. You can take your time. You don't need to cut corners. You don't need to try to force things. You don't need to try to speed through it and be like, once I get there fastest, I win. I have everything I want. No. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady, going at your own natural pace, walking your own unique, authentic path is how you end up winning and getting the results you want. That's how you get the win-win outcast. That's how you become the best version of yourself. You allow yourself to rest. It's not all about getting things done and being productive and being go, go, go. That's what the society likes to tell us, but that's not true. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. That's the thing. You can transmute. You don't have to let circumstances or other people dictate how you feel or how you show up in the world. Like, literally, it makes me think about that whole hot mess that was that toxic group and the narcissist, and how very traumatic and cruel and just downright horrible that whole thing ended up playing out. And they seemed to think that they got to call the shots and how I would show up in the situation in the world, and it really triggered the heck out of them when I still chose kindness, I still chose peace, I still chose love, I still chose to be myself. And so the universe is reminding you, it's like, you get to choose how you show up in the world. You get to choose what you give your attention, what you give your focus, what it is that you want to nurture in this world. You get to choose. You can transmute a lot. You can allow yourself to heal. You don't have to be like everybody else. If everyone else around you is being nasty and disrespectful and just continuing the cycles of hurt, doing an eye for an eye to make the whole world blind, you realize that you don't have to do that. You don't. And it's not always easy, but you don't have to do that. I honor how I want to feel. How is it that you want to feel? How is it that you want to show up in the world? How is it that you want to live? You get to choose. You get to make space for what's most important to you. You get to honor and make a priority whatever it is that's most important to you. You don't have to run away. You can be open and honest. The truth will set you free. You are a spiritual warrior, Yeah. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself I am love and miracles are natural. Yeah. Miracles are natural. The universe will naturally unfold opportunities, magic, miracles, everything that you need if you get in alignment with it, if you allow yourself to receive it. But you have to choose it. You have to choose. And you have to believe it. You have to expect it. You have to get in alignment with it. You are love, and the universe adores you, and it wants to bless you. It wants you to be able to thrive and have your dream life. Okay, so we have lightning, and that feels very fitting because it feels very stormy and turbulent with this energy. But the universe wants you to know to control your anger, you will be sorry. Meaning, that doesn't mean you don't ever get angry or you don't ever feel angry, but watching how it is you choose to respond. Because so many of us blindly react in the heat of the moment when emotions are heightened, and we have these emotionally volatile explosions, and we lash out and we say things and we do things that we don't mean that we regret later. So the universe is saying here, allow yourself to feel and process your emotions. But if you are feeling in those heightened emotions, those heated, angry moments, take a step back. Walk away from the situation, breathe, process, feel whatever you need to feel, get it out of your system, and then come back so that you're not sorry by saying or doing something you don't mean. And it can be easier said than done, especially if we get in those habits. But it's going to do us so much good if we can feel our emotions instead of guilting ourselves and shaming ourselves because, When we get angry, we may say and do things we don't mean, and then we're just like, well, I shouldn't have done that. I'm a horrible person because I was angry and I did all these hurtful things. Like, you're not horrible for feeling anger. That's a natural human emotion, but that doesn't give you a free pass to hurt other people, which is why the universe is saying, hey, watch your anger, watch your feelings, process them, and then come back to the situation when you're feeling calmer and level-headed. Eagle, triumph over troubles, obstacles. Yeah, this very much is, you will soar above your problems. You will soar above this season of waiting and turbulence and transition. Like, it's not going to be forever. Conclusions are within reach. Yes, remember pace of a race so you don't try to rush through it and cut corners, but know that you will succeed and you will be able to soar over everything and reach greater and greater heights. Box, you will receive a gift. Yes, the universe will reward you for all the hard work you're putting in, all the inner work, all the healing, all the processing, all the growth, all the sitting and making space and being with and listening and seeing everything that comes up. You're going to be rewarded for it. You're going to have all these blessings come in, all these gifts, because you are being honest and real and you're letting yourself be human. You're showing up for yourself. Coins, yeah, this is very much feeling like the energy is going to rain abundance and blessings and magic and miracles down on you. It's going to shine love and light and peace and joy on you. And it's like you won't know, like you can't even imagine how great it gets. Money will be coming to you, and not just money, but all forms of wealth and prosperity, health, joy, love, fun, like all of it. It's coming in because of all the hard work you've been doing. It's very much a win-win outcome is in the forecast. You will be able to thrive. You will be able to have your dream life. So allow yourself to rest and become this new version of yourself. Allow yourself to become the butterfly. Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Yes, because you've been doing all this inner work, because you've been healing, because you've been, going into the depths of your soul and making space for the shadows, for your emotions, all the discomfort, allowing it to flow and be processed. You're developing such strength and such inner peace, and it's going to help you stay the course with whatever comes up next, which is why when I mentioned earlier in the reading about, you can't rush the process. You can't try to crack open that chrysalis or cocoon and force your way out of it early, because you won't have that strength you need. The universe is preparing you with all of this right now. So yes, it's messy. It can be super uncomfortable, sometimes downright unbearable, but it is preparing you and giving you everything you need, that strength and inner peace that will assure your success. So you can reach true happiness. Like, look at this. Like, this is your future. Because of everything you've went through. You're going to have joy. You're going to have love. You're going to have peace. You're going to have excitement and fun and prosperity. All of it. You're going to be truly blessed. You're going to be able to live your dream life. Because of everything you've been through and how you've been showing up. All the things that you have been investing and planting seeds and all the energy you've been bringing into the situation, you will be rewarded. The universe has not forgotten. It notices each and everything that you do, and you will be blessed beyond anything you can imagine. I'm so excited for you. This is why the universe doesn't want you to give up on your dreams. Why it wants you to be kind with yourself and to remember your worth, to get devoted to yourself. Because you're so inherently deserving and you've been doing so much. The world needs you. That's why you're here. Don't be like anyone else. Like, we don't need copies. We don't need, clones and pretenders. We need more authentic individuals. I am sending you so much love. I hope that you all have a phenomenal rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.